All right, Kai. Here's another question that it brings a lot of memories to me. So the question is, how did we measure success back in the days? In those days, how did we measure?
Yeah, I remember, and I think in those days it was, how can I explain? It was all about the numbers. That was the only lens we use, the only one. It's not a bad one, but it's the only one for us. And yeah, it's not that numbers don't matter, but the problem was that was all we looked at. You understand? When I walk into a factory, I feel pretty quickly if things are working or not. Yeah? And I know this sounds a little bit strange, but even something like the conditions of the restroom can tell you a little bit or maybe a lot about the culture there. You know that topic? Yeah. And
yes.
So these here are the numbers. They're important, and we need them. But there is a little bit more, because in the end, productivity is just an outcome. The real drivers are, like we talked before, attitude, passion, energy, respect, and all these words. Yeah.
You touched a point about the toilets or the restrooms.
Yeah.
All right. Back in the days, what would you imagine if we'd say we need to put attention in the restrooms? Because let's be honest, they were terrible. They were not dignified. And that was the last focus we ever had about it. We had visioned the restrooms. We didn't even look at the restrooms as an indicator of where the culture was. You know, there were some restaurants you wouldn't even want to go and wash your hands on the restroom. Nevertheless, go and do your business there. Yeah. But and when I brought that into the organization, it was very provocative.
One of my first views is to take a look in these restrooms. Then you have a little bit more kind of feeling which culture is there. Yeah. So on the other hand, you have all these data and numbers and so on. They are important, but there is a connection, Alex. I guess if you have these dirty restrooms or these dirty lunch rooms, another good point from you. Maybe there's a little connection to quality, to safety, and all these things. You know, this is for me connected. I told this very old story from a customer audit, and there was seen an employee of my department who was climbing on the safety fences to remove a little thing on something electric things. I don't know exactly what it was. And then the auditor stopped everything. I thought, okay, yeah, this was not okay, but it was not so bad and not so dangerous. Yeah, not okay, but not so dangerous to stop everything. But then he said to me, Kai, please change your thinking. Do you have a rule for that? Yes, yes, certainly we have a rule. It's not allowed to climb on safety fences. It's not allowed. Yeah, but he did it. And if he did it, when he do this, he will take the same thinking for my quality, for my product. Yeah. And that was for me another situation which changes in my head something. Yeah, it is connected.
I'm remembering that I learned from Paul was respect for people is respect for the product, which is respect for the customer. Yeah. So basically, if you don't have respect for people, and what does respect mean? Doesn't mean, hey, good morning, how are you? That's good manners.
Yeah.
Respect for people is giving them what they need, where they need it, when they need it. You know, giving the tools that they need, giving them the knowledge they need, listening to them. And I was confusing with good manners. That's nothing at all. saying good morning, say hi. If the guy is working every day with a screwdriver that's all broken, respect this. Dude, I'm going to get you the right tool. You take care of it. You respect the company, but you respect the screwdriver. Yeah. And we will, I give you, you give me. And that's when you start building the respect. People respect the resources, the tools, the rules, as you say.
Absolutely.
Because if you can't respect a restroom, you can't clean it up after you do your business, what makes you think they're going to respect the quality of the part?
So, and therefore I said, there is a connection. I see most of the cases I see a connection. Not at all, but most.
I could tell you, I remember on these meetings of benchmark, we would measure who was the best company, best plant, by the cycle time that you had in the bottleneck machine. And so, in perspective, that's nonsense. Having a best cycle time doesn't mean you're the most lean or the most effective, the most productive, the best quality. It is a very short vision, mean nothing if you're sending bad quality out or you have to rework. And so they would spend Saturday and Sunday just reworking parts to make sure that they had enough space in the warehouse. If you could give some advice to Kai back in the days, what would you say to Kai today?
Mistakes are a part of the process. Mistakes aren't normal. Kai, maybe I should say, you are not wrong, but just not finished. Every missed step you make now is what's going to shape your understanding later. So don't be too hard on yourself. Mistakes are part of the process. 15 years ago, I was not ready to accept mistakes or a failure in the process, or in a workshop. It's allowed to be wrong. So I think that is a really important thing. Build your own perspective. Just go ahead, challenge the older generation, for sure. Then that is the job for the young generation. Listen to the old ones too. They have seen a lot. There is a wisdom there. Make your own perspective, but listen to the old ones. Maybe they have not so bad ideas.